Good morning, students. Today our topic is MySQL aggregate function, and this is MySQL aggregate function part 4. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about min function, which is an aggregate function. In our previous lecture, we already discussed about count function, sum function, and average function. So, as the name suggests, min function basically returns a minimum value among different values. So, min function. Aggregate function, first of all, let us take a definition of aggregate function. Aggregate function is a function where the values of multiple rows are grouped together to form a single summary value. That is a very important point. To form a single summary value. And there are basically five main aggregate functions. These are count, sum, average, min, and max. And in this lecture, we are going to discuss about min function. First of all, if you don't want to take data of a table and just want to find out a minimum value among different numbers, so you can write on the screen just as one thing should be remembered, that these all functions should be used with select statement. So first of all, just write select, and then if you find out a minimum value, then just write min, and after that within parentheses just write different values out of which you have to find out the minimum value. Suppose there are 3 values, 10, 12, and 17, and these are the 3 values, and these are not related to any table. And with select statement, there is a compulsion that you have to write a table name. So just write a table name due. It is a dummy table of a database. Then you can find out the minimum value, and minimum value in this case is 10, so output is 10 in this case. But here we have to find out the minimum value in a table. So let us check the functionality of min function, the MySQL min function. The min function in MySQL is used to return the minimum value in a set of value from the table, and it is an aggregate function that is useful when we need to find the smallest number, selecting the least expensive product, etc. And that is, there is a syntax here, and you can see that select is here, and then min, and then aggregate expression out of which you have to find out the minimum value. And there is a distinct clause. Distinct clause basically provide you a unique value. If there is a repetition of data, then it count basically a value which is repeated so many number of times, only one. So that is the purpose of distinct clause here. And then after from, and then table names, and then where condition. So condition is given with the where clause here. So this is the syntax of MySQL min function. Condition, there is no this is not compulsory that there is always a condition. On the behalf of that, you have to find out the minimum value among minimum value for our aggregate expression. So it is a optional part here, and you can see that in the syntax, whenever you just use a square bracket, it indicate that it is an optional part. So where condition, and after that a sign of semicolon, which indicate that uh, statement is over here. So this is the syntax of min function. Next, parameter explain. First of all, here aggregate expression, it is the required expression. It specifies the column expressions name from which the minimum value will be returned. Table name, it specifies the table from where we want to retrieve records, and there must be at least one table listed in the from clause. So there is no compulsion that there is only one value out of which you have to find out the aggregate expression and minimum value. So there may be more than one tables also. And third is where conditions, and as the as written here, and I told you earlier that it is an optional. It is optional, and it specifies the condition that must be fulfilled for a records to be selected. And then distinct, so it allows us to return the minimum number of distinct values in the expression. However, it does not affect the minimum function and produces the same result without using this keyword. So these are the parameters which are explained. Two or more important things are there. First of all, table may be more than one. Where condition is optional, distinct clause allow us to return distinct value in the expressions, and there should always be an aggregate for expression to count minimum value. And next is, here you can see that there is a name table name employee, and there is a select statement, select star from employee. It means employees, we select all columns of table name employees, and so, and there is no condition specified here, so complete data regarding to employee table is there. And you can see that employee ID, employee name, employee age, city, income, these are the columns names here or attributes of a table. And these are the records here, you can easily see that. And in records you can easily find out the employee ID is unique. Employee name is Peter, Mark, Donald, Obama, Lincoln, and there is no repetition of data in employee name. Employee age, you can easily see that there are some repetition of data. Some employees have same age, 32, 32, 40, 35, 32 again, 45, 35, 40 again. So there is a repetition of data. Then city is New York, and California, Arizona, Florida. These are the name of the cities. And then the income, and you can see here that 35,000, 45,000, 50. There is no repetition of data in terms of income. 20,000, 30,000, no repetition data, unique data for income. So there is a repetition of data and employee age, and this is a table name employee, and column names are for employee ID, employee name, employee age, city, and income. Now this is a basic example of a min statement, min function, which is an aggregate function. Execute the following query that uses a min function to find the minimum income of the employee available in the table. So that is a table, and in which we can see that this is the column income, and these are the different incomes of different employees, and we have to find out the minimum income among these. And you can see that I think 7,000 is the minimum income, so the answer will be 7,000. But for this you have to write, first of all, select and the name of the function min, and since you have to find out the minimum income, so just write the name of the column income. You can easily see that income here, and then as it gives you alternative name, minimum income, so it is an alternative name. Basically it works as a column name. When you show the output here, you can easily see that here is the output. If you don't write this, then column name is minimum income, and then from is a keyword, then table name. There is only a single table, so we just write employees here, and you can find out, you can see that minimum income is 7,000. So that is a basic example of MySQL minimum function. Next, minimum function with where clause. So as you know that where clause is used to specify the condition, and if condition is given, then you can also find out the minimum value. So condition is given with where clause. There may be one condition or maybe more than one condition. If there may be more than one condition, then you can separate with them using and or operators. And when you use and operator, it simply means that both of the condition will true, only then the data is filtered according to that. Otherwise, if you use or, then it means whenever there is a single condition will found to be true, then data will be selected according to that. So the where clause allows to filter the result from the selected records, and the following statement find the minimum income in all rows from the employees table, and where clause specifies all rows from employee age column is greater than equal to 32 and less than equal to 42. Now here condition is such a way that we have to find out the minimum income of our employee in such a way that the employee age should be greater than and equal to 32 but less than equal to 40. So only those employees considered here whose age is greater than or equal to 32 and less than 45, less than or equal to 40. So you can see here that this is the employee whose age is greater than 40, and rest are less than. This is again 2. 2 less than 40 and less than 32. Less than 32, I think. No, no value is less than 32 here. So 32 is itself a minimum value among these. So of course the answer will be 32. Answer will be no answer. Age will be 30. Minimum age is 32 and maximum age is 40. So only two values are rejected here, or two records will be rejected here. This and that. And for this, you have to find out the minimum income. Minimum income for these ages. So for all these ages, you have to find out the minimum income. And as you see that 7,000 is minimum age, minimum income, and it is already rejected. So and 45,000 is already rejected. So I think 20,000 is the minimum. So it will be the answer. Let us check after execution of this statement what happens. Here select min income as minimum income. So as minimum income, as is a keyword, as you know that as is a keyword, and it provides a alternative name to the function min income. And then from employees is the table name, and there is a condition employee is greater than 32 and employee is less than 40. Let us check what happens. You can easily see that this is the command here, and that is the output. 20,000 is the output. So here we can say that minimum function basically find out the minimum value of column name among column name, or we can say that here the income is the expression aggregate expression. So minimum income is 20,000. And remember that there are two conditions here, and it will found the value of minimum income for age greater than 32 as well as employees less than 40, because these two conditions separated by AND operator here. Next, MySQL minimum function with group by clause. Group by clause is a very important clause, and definitely it will be asking your examination. So group by clause basically group or records on basis of some column or values. So the group by clause allows us to collect data from multiple rows and group it based on one or more column. So group is basically based on one or more column. Most of the time it is a single column. And for example, the following statement uses a min function with the group by clause to find the minimum income in all rows from the employees table for each employee age group. You can see here, select employee age, and then min income as minimum income. Again, as minimum income is the alternative name to min income. And then from employees is the name of table, and group by employees. So according to the here condition, in group by employees, records of the employees will be grouped on the basis of employee age. And you can see here, this is our original table, and there is a repetition of data again. So there is a group of age 32, then there is a group of age 35, then 40, and then 45. So 4 groups are there. 4 groups are there, and so group is based on that condition. Next, and you have to find out the minimum income for that group. So minimum income for that group. Now if we execute this, then you can see that already there are 4 groups: 32, 40, 35, and 45. And for 32 you can easily see that. First of all, let us check the original data, original table. For 32 you can see that 20,000 is income of Peter. Peter's income is 20,000. Mark's income is 30,000, and Georgia is 25,000, and Brian is 40,000. So among these, 20,000 is minimum, because we have to find out the minimum value. So 20,000 is the minimum value for 32. Now let us see. Here we make a group on the basis of employee age, and we have to find out the minimum income. So for employee age 32, which is a group here, minimum age is 20,000. And in such a manner, for 40, employee age 40, there is a group of employees 40 in which minimum age is 35,000, and there is a group of age 35 in which the minimum age is 50,000, 5 lakhs I think, and then 45 is a minimum income of 7,000. These are the minimum income of different employees. So now again let us see the query here. Select employee age, minimum income. You have to find out the minimum income, but the most important thing is that you have to minimum income on the basis of a group, and the group name is employee age, and here we make a group on the basis of employee age. So 32 is repeated more than one time, so 32 is a group. If even there is a single value, then a group will be make for this also. For example, if there is a 33, then it doesn't mean that for 33 there is no group. For 33 there should be a group for 33 also, age of 33. So for different values, but if there is a repetition of values, then then this is considered as a single unit. As you can see that 32 is repeated 4 times, so it is considered as a single unit and makes a group here. And if there is no repetition data, it also makes a group. So on the basis of that, we here find out the minimum age, minimum income for each age group. Next, our next is our next topic is MySQL minimum function with having clause. So we have to find out the minimum function with having clause. So one thing you should always remember, that if you want to put a condition with a group, then always use having clause. So having clause is always used by group by function, group by clause. So both comes together, and if there is a condition on a group, then having should be there. If there is no condition on group, then no need to write having clause. So it is very simple. Some student gets confused between having and where clause. Having clause is always used on a group or with group, but where clause is used for a general condition which is not related to the group. So we put where clause after from table name, and we always put having clause after, just after the group by clause. As you can see here that there is a group by, and group is made on the basis of city, and after that a condition name. And second important thing is that when you make a group on the basis of particular condition or particular column name, or then with you can put always a function name with having clause, because condition is on the basis of a, because the group is on the basis of a particular condition, and that condition should be mentioned with having clause here. And you can see that let us discuss this query again. Here first of all we have to find out the minimum value, and we have to find out the minimum income, and we make a group on the basis of city. and the condition is that income is always greater than 1,50,000. So minimum income should be greater than 1,50,000. So what we have to do here, just write select and then the name of the columns. Of course it is the name of the columns, then minimum income. As you can see here that as is a keyword, and after that there is a column name which provide a alternative name for column minimum income, and then after table name from is a keyword, and then after table name employees, and then group by city. So we make a group on the basis of column city. So first of all let us check a original table. This is our original table, and you can see that there are repetition of cities, isn't it? Yes, California appear two times, and Florida again appears two times. So group is based on the basis of city. So actually city repeated more than one times here. So we make a group on the basis of city, and here condition is that in group as city. So and there is a condition that minimum income should be greater than 1,50,000. So minimum income should be greater than 1,50,000. So you can see here that is an original database, original table here should be greater than. You can see that for different cities different incomes are there, and when you execute this query, remember that having clause contain a condition related to a group. This is the main objective of having clause. That is our answer. So all values are greater than 1,50,000. You can easily see here, and the group is based on the city. So two columns name city and a minimum income. And why it is so? Because here we put just the name of the city, and minimum income, for minimum income we give a name of column name as a minimum income. So minimum income is, looks here, min income replaced by minimum underscore income. Here you can easily see that. And group is based on the name of city, so different cities are appears only at one time, and for that condition minimum value is selected, but the condition is that greater value should be greater than 1,50,000, and this value should be provided with having clause here, and we provided it already here. So you can see that all values are greater than 1,50,000. So that is the purpose of having clause. So whenever you put a having clause, it then there is a condition, and that condition should always be related to a group. So condition related to a group should always be mentioned with having clause. So that is the main purpose of having clause here. The next topic is our next query is MySQL MIN function with distinct clauses. So as the name says, distinct. So distinct clause basically remove duplicate values from it. So MySQL use distinct keyword to remove the duplicate rows from the column name, and we can also use this clause with min function to return the minimum income value of a unique number of records present in a table. With a unique number of records present in a table, and execute the following query that removes the duplicate record in the income column of the employees table group by city, and then returns the minimum value. You can see here that that is the name of columns, employee name and cities, and minimum distinct income. So here we just write distinct before income, which is the name of the column. So what happens actually, let us see our origin table again. This is our origin table, and this is the income, and in this income certain values are duplicate, and these values are 25,000, 35,000, 25,000. Okay, there may be certain value which are repeated. You can see that 20,000, 30,000, 1,50,000, 25,000, 45,000, 5 lakhs, 35,000, 40,000, 60,000, and 70,000. If there is a no duplication of values, then it's just ignore it. Otherwise, if there are more than one values, then it considered it as a single time. So here we can see that income is basically for every person there is a unique income. So distinct clause basically here are used to differentiate or find out the distinct values for income. If there are no distinct values in there, then or there is a duplication of values, then it considered it as a single unit or single time, or or single unit, or just consider it as a only one time. And if there are already a distinct values in there, then it is it gives a result according to the distinct clause. And already if there are distinct values in it, then no problem at all. It just calculate among these values according to the questions, according to the requirement of the questions. And here we can see that as minimum income from employee group by city. So what I have to do first of all, there is a group, and the group is formed on the basis of city here, and table name is employee, and we have to find out the details of employee name and city. And we have to find out the distinct income as minimum income. So minimum income, and or minimum income is minimum underscore income is the alternative name of distinct income. So let us see what is the output of this program. You can see that employee name, city, and minimum income. Employee name, city, and minimum income are the name of the columns here. You can easily see that. And for these all values are reflected. And there since we use here distinct income, so there is no repetition of values in here. We can easily see that 20,000, 7,000, 60,000, 35,000, etc. These are the different values for that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 values are there on the basis of city. So this is the purpose of our distinct clause. So distinct clause is basically used to find out the unique value, and duplication values are not allowed when we use distinct clause here. So this is the all about of minimum function. And till now we already discussed 4 main aggregate function. This is count function, sum function, average function, min function, and max function. And now there is only one aggregate function is remaining, which will be discussed in our next video, and that is a max function, which is just opposite to that of the main function. If you just if you are able to understand the concept of min function, then you can easily easy to understand the concept of max function also. And always remember that these are the aggregate function, and they are used most of the time with the group by function, group by clause. And in question in exam, there are a question related to the group by clause and aggregate function, and the combination of both these topics, there is a question related to group by and an aggregate function, which will definitely be asked in your examination, whether it is related to a count function, sum, average, min, or max function. So first of all, learn the definition of aggregate function. That aggregate function is a function where the values of multiple rows are grouped together to form a single summary value. That is called the aggregate function, and that's why count, sum, average, and min, max are called the aggregate functions. And these functions are used with the group by clause also. So there is a possibility that a question is definitely asked in your examination about group by clause with aggregate functions. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you like this video, and thanks for watching this video.